In exclusive news break, we are learning that Indian intelligence agencies believe there is a coordinated anti-India radicalization plan in Bangladesh, which is being done with an aim to keep the country on the boil and delay elections, as the current Yunus-led administration does not want elections to happen anytime soon. So this is what the input suggests. One, that Mohammed Yunus and Jamaat-e-Islami are aligned in delaying the elections that are set to take place sometime next year. Sustained street violence is being seen as a pressure tactic to avoid the impending polls. Intelligence assessment says that Jamaat-e-Islami is fueling anti-India sentiment to keep the streets mobilized. Large Friday congregations are being used to amplify anti-India narratives. In fact, there are even some specific venues that have been identified, including Baitul Mukarram National Mosque, Khatunganj Jame Mosque, a masjid, and Shahi Eidgah. These are, of course, areas that can hold large Friday congregations. Sermons reportedly target issues in India, for example, Ayodhya, Kashmir, NRC, CEA, and India-Bangladesh border incidents. What we're also being told is that while there are certain groups like the Qaumi and the Aliyah Madrasas that are not preaching jihad or armed jihad per se, but they are systematically politicizing students, especially the young generation, against India. And in the latest episode that has been transpiring in Bangladesh, we've seen a lot of anti-India rhetoric. We've seen, for example, Hadi's family members talking about a 200-year-old war with India. So India-centric injustice narratives are being introduced via informal sessions and guest preachers. There are digital platforms that are being actively used. There are Bangladeshi reels, voice notes, short videos. All of this is being done to portray India negatively. But the end result of all of this could well be that they want elections to be delayed, because there is a sense that Yunus derives his relevance from the uncertainty that prevails. Without that, he's not really going to be relevant in Bangladeshi politics. My colleague Akansha Swaroop is also joining us with more on this. Akansha, many in India have been wondering of this very radical turn in the anti-India hate in Bangladesh, and some of it is explained by what Indian intelligence agencies also believe is actually a plan to delay elections, but using anti-India hate on the street for that.
Absolutely. Shivani, these intelligence inputs have been shared by Security Affairs Editor Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta. And as you've already highlighted, there's a systemic planning that's going behind, not just in the mosques, but also, say, in various other parts, the Qaumi and Aliyah Madrasas. Even if they are not preaching jihad, they are systematically training students, young students, because you can see how the youth is taking to the streets. The fact that the police is behaving like a lame duck in this overall scenario only goes on to indicate the kind of free hand that the radicals have been given under the Yunus regime, which is also silently, tacitly backing the Jamaatis. As we all know, they are in fact being backed by Pakistan. And so if you look at the way Dipu Chandra Das's killing happened, he was very much accompanied by the police, and what journalists also believe is that he was literally handed over to the radicals. When in police presence, they could not stop the lynching and the burning of this minority, only goes on to indicate that there is a deliberate effort being made to whip up not just the anti-India rhetoric, but now even the murder and, say, the kind of actions we are seeing happen unabated against minorities, not just this time around, but also in the violence that had ensued in Bangladesh in August of 2024. This time around, what's worse, Shivani, is that at least till last year we had seen there were cadres that were operating. This time, all of this violence is decentralized. It's complete anarchy. As you also highlighted, the madrasas, the mosques are being used to preach anti-India hatred, namely against Kashmir, Ayodhya, even attacking the CAA and NRC. So this is also going to perhaps leave our borders more vulnerable. How this will impact the border security? India is of course extremely guarded over here. There's much anger already on the streets of Delhi, as we can see after Dipu Chandra Das's killing. But more importantly, Yunus and Jamaat-e-Islami are going to be weakened by these elections, even though in that statement that had come in from Mohammed Yunus yesterday after he was reached out by, say, the US envoy Sergio Gore, he assured that elections will happen on time in February. But most of that is just mere tokenism. It is just mere lip service, because only by not having elections, Yunus can cement his hold on power. Why so? Because the Awami League currently still commands popularity. According to sources, what we've been told, they command 30% popularity as far as the voter base is concerned. In fact, the BNP also was hoping to have some of the Awami League members fight independently, such is the popularity of Awami League party leaders. So Muhammad Yunus and the Jamaatis clearly are extremely threatened, which is why the killings of these youth leaders is also happening. There was one after Hadi, we've seen Siktar is also being attacked. He remains in a critical condition. He was attacked, he was shot at in Khulna. So all of this only goes on to say that there is a deliberate attempt to crack down on, say, the liberal moderate voices. There's a clampdown on the liberal voices, on the culture of Bangladesh, as we've seen how they have already gone on to change the names of the Bangabandhu Hall in Bangladesh University. All of that is undoing the history that Bangladesh was holding on to since the 1971 Liberation War, and it is a conscious effort which is being made only to promote this kind of hardline extremism, and all of that is being done through the Muhammad Yunus regime and the Jamaatis.
Yes. So a lot of internal domestic issues which are really driving this, because certain elements want to continue to be in power, and they cannot be, they feel they cannot be, if there was actually a free and fair election in Bangladesh. And to avoid that, all of this drama is playing out on the streets. Akansha, thanks a lot for joining us.